And are you refreshed? Good. Now what?
Thank you. I'm so grateful for being patient enough to say the same message over and over in creative ways until we really get it. So thank you.
You are the patient ones. No patience is required inside the vortex. We're just in there where everything you want is. Patience is only really required when you're not in the vortex.
Thanks for the love. I'd like to grow my escrow around attracting a partner. And the reason why I want to say grow my escrow is because I have no longing, meaning I feel perfectly whole. I'm accepting of my singleness. I enjoy the camaraderie of my friends, my married friends. When I'm around them, I don't feel a lack. But yet I have a desire to have a partner. And so how do I send my rocket of desire really, really high when I don't know what to light it with?
Well, in some ways, you're misunderstanding just a little bit the creative process, because the escrow is already there. In other words, what you have been asking for, you've been putting it there incrementally, and it's there. And the fact that you feel no angst about it is really a very good thing, because that means that there is not an active, contradictory, resistant thought going on within you that's slowing it down. So, but a lot of people, if there isn't some angst present, then they think that there isn't any desire present. And that is not true at all. Are you suggesting that because it hasn't manifested yet, that maybe you need to goose it up more?
Well, I manifest men, relationships. They just don't stick around, meaning...
And when they don't stick around, what does the rocket say that comes out of that? Want a stable relationship, want one of longevity, want someone who wants to stick around. So the rockets are going off, aren't they?
They are.
And when you think about what you want in a relationship, can you articulate it at all?
Yes. I want a companion who reflects a perfect mirror of me so that I can identify the things I love about me and the opportunities to fix the things about me in a harmonious union.
Well, you know what's really interesting about that? Your words are lovely and they are perfect and they are accurate, because everyone always is getting a companion who is a perfect mirror. So if the companion hasn't come yet, what is that perfect mirror telling you?
I don't know.
Well, think about it. So I want a companion who reflects perfectly back to me who I am.
I'm not ready to see who I am.
But let's talk about it in more general terms, not just a companion. I want law of attraction to reflect back to me who I am. So here I stand, and what's my status regarding a relationship? Not quite there yet. So what does that mean? That, in a mirror reflecting back sense, what do you think it means? It means I'm not quite ready for the partner I'm asking for. Doesn't it?
Yes.
A lot of people say, bring me a partner and bring one right now. And we say, or you could wait till you're matched to the one you really want. So we think you're picky, and we think that's a good thing. In other words, you are interacting with enough people. You are paying attention to marriages and relationships. You know which ones are like the ones you want yours to be, and you know which ones aren't. So you're doing a lot of sifting and sorting and a lot of rocket flowing into your vortex. But now it's time for you not to goose up your desire. We promise you, you've goosed it up and you've put together a really good vortex version of your relationship. But the part that you're wanting to emphasize just a little bit is your vibrational readiness.
Yes.
And when you sat down, your first words were, I need to launch some more rockets. I must be doing something wrong. There must be something missing in me or in my vibration. And we say, that's what the universe is reflecting back to you. You don't feel ready. You feel like you need to do more work and get it righter and be more clear. And so the universe, the law of attraction is responding to you in the way you feel. So you have to do something about shifting your presentation, your vibrational presentation of readiness to the universe. So you do that by, well, one thing that you're doing that you described to us is really a good thing if you're really doing it, and that is feeling satisfied with where you are. And for some, that sounds like a contradiction. Abraham, if she wants a relationship and she feels satisfied with where she is, isn't she contradicting the desire? And we say, not at all, because you've been putting those rockets in there of what you want. And when you are in an attitude or a moment of feeling satisfied, there's no resistance, which means you let the vortex take you in. And when the vortex takes you in, you are in there as a temporary cooperative component to you inside a relationship that you've already created. And if you can just hang around in there longer, before you know it, the right impulse will come, the right inspiration will come, the right rendezvous will come. You will meet your partner. You will. It's certain.
Okay. Thank you.
So what's changed just now as a result of the conversation we had? What did you feel shift?
My authenticity about what I value. That when I'm in the vortex, I'm not relaxing.
Well, when you can't be in the vortex and be anxious. So maybe you're not in the vortex and you just think you are. In other words, maybe what's shifting is your understanding about what that means. And we've been talking about that all day here today. In fact, it's been a common thread through a few gatherings that there is this sort of human tendency to want to proclaim that you're in when you're not, and want to make sure that you're doing something about it even though you're not in there. And what we're conveying to you, to all of you all day here today, but specifically just now, is let the vortex do the work. So when we said to you, you've already put your relationship into the vortex, you've already assigned all of the characteristics, you've already made all of the requests, step one, and most important, step two has already been done for you. In other words, vibrationally speaking, your relationship is already there. So what's the missing piece?
I come across as a lazy lover. Because I'm trying not to do anything and just allow, that when that person shows up, I don't put effort. And so I'm wondering as you...
Well, but here's the thing. Here's what's out of whack about that statement. And we're not saying the statement's not accurate. We're just saying you don't need to worry about it. Because we promise you, when you rendezvous with the one who is the one that you've been putting there, you'll act. Nothing will be able to keep you from that, you see. And if you're not getting that kind of hit, then it's one of two reasons. Either you're not in the vortex, or what's in the vortex isn't a match to you. And it can't be the second, so it's got to be the first. You're not in the vortex, you see. So how are you going to get in there? They all know. Because it's easier from out there than here. But from what we've been talking about already here today, what's the fastest path into the vortex? Specific or general?
General.
Why? Because there's more resistance in the specific. You're too aware of the missing pieces. So talk to us generally about the vortex. Not about a relationship. Talk to us generally about the vortex.
The vortex is easy. The vortex is inviting.
Now, inviting, we felt you feel. Easy, not so much.
The vortex is
It's always there for me.
always there for me.
It's not going anywhere, so there's no big hurry.
I'm 44.
It's well, there it is. That was way too specific. Here's something that we know that you don't know that you're about to remember that you do know. And that is that when we say the vortex isn't going anywhere, we want you, that was our word to help you to feel you used the word to us, the patience of the vortex, the longevity of the vortex, the stability of the vortex. In other words, it's not because there's a tendency to think, oh, I've passed through this much time without getting what I want. So now, am I going to have to pass through equal amount of time in order to get what I want? In other words, did I start here and I've moved there and now I've got to move all the way back here before I can start moving this way? And we want you to understand that all the work is done. In other words, the work is done. The vortex is there. The relationship is a vibrational reality. It's a now reality, and it doesn't take a lot of time to get into the vortex. It just takes an understanding of how to get in. So when we say it's not going anywhere and there's no hurry, we mean, does it matter if it takes you a day, an hour, or a week to get in there?
No.
In other words, in that kind of relativity of time, does it really matter if it takes you a whole month to get centered in your vortex? If it took the vortex a whole month to bring you up to speed to meet the partner that you've put there, that's what we meant by there's no rush about it, you see.